She's a partner in the coaching room. She's based in Melbourne, and she's come up here on her own volition to speak with you and share her story. So, Kel, over to you, my love.
Lovely. Good morning, everyone. Oh no, it's good afternoon, actually. So good afternoon, everyone. It's lovely for me to see you, and it's a privilege for me to be here with you today to share my message, which I care a lot about, and which is about owning your power. And in fact, by you being here today,
Have you got a microphone?
Oh. No.
He can't hear you.
Okay. Really? Can you hear me now? Yes. All right. I'm going to start again. Good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to be here today, and I do feel privileged to be here in this room with each and every one of you. I truly believe, it's not a belief that's that I feel and sense, and I love women. As I said that to someone before, I am married, 21 years, but I do love women. Yes, my husband looks at me weirdly sometimes, so that's one reason why I'm here. I'm here for the love. The other reason I'm here is to share the message, to own your power, which is something that is really, really, really important, that I have experienced and learnt through in my life. So I'm here to share my life experience and basically how I am and why I am here today, what brings me here, and all the other presenters as well will add to this. So this is a component, if you like. I have a true belief, here we go, beliefs again. I know, I embody, I sense. See that little kitten? Okay, we all have one of those, or we are all one of those, but also we're that lion. So deep inside of each and every one of you, deep inside of me, is a lot of strength and a lot of power. And you've exercised that power by being here today. So own your power. And Emerson sends this message to us beautifully when he says, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Because when we access, when we know what lies within us, everything else externally exists. We see things that we didn't see before, and we know, and you know, and I know, that we are powerful beyond belief. So my message is not own your power, but that you and I, and men and women, are powerful beyond belief. So where does my story begin? It begins here. Well, I didn't come out looking like that, but this is kind of, yeah, later you're going to tell me which one I am. So the story that I have is one that my father is very proud of sharing, actually. And that's that 3 little girls under the age of 5 put us all on a couch, and my mum and dad had to go out, and they said, now, you will sit here and you will not talk and you will not move, and when we come back, we will find you exactly where we left you. Guess what? They found us exactly where they left us. I mean, I don't remember, but I'd say that we didn't even look at each other. We wouldn't dare. We probably wouldn't even have moved. So that's how I grew up, with lots of rules, strict, patriarchal, strong culture, Greek family background, raised to be a good girl, a good wife, a great house cleaner, and all those good things. Even, you know, I'm a left-hander, by the way, Even they tried to train me how to use my good hand. But yeah, I kind of said I didn't rebel when I was young, but I did because I'm still a left-hander. So there you go. So that's where the story begins. So what did that mean for me? So imagine, what does that mean? Growing up, going into school, going into the workforce, into your relationships, friendships, and being. What's the construct? So this is how the story goes, and this was the construct. This is how my life continued, okay? Good girl syndrome, okay? I was a damn good girl, and I still am a damn good girl. But I'm a damn good girl the way I want to be, not the way I was told I should be, not the way I thought somebody else, my mother, my father, my husband, my boss, anybody else thought I should be. I'm me, okay? And it's good and it's bad and it's everything else. But trying to live up to that, to the good girl syndrome, or else, because that was the other rule, or else, okay? So take that into school, take that into work, take that into your relationship. Superwoman, right? And I'm not talking muscles. I'm talking about the person who has to be perfect. Have the perfect house, have the perfect children, have the perfect job, have the perfect dollar sign, have the perfect title over your name, okay? And that was my identity, that was my value, and that was my worth. So that's how I saw myself. That was my construct. The ball and chain, right? And the handcuffs. All imaginary. And at this point, the ball and chain is not something someone put on me, because at this stage, I'm an adult. Only a number of years ago, not so long ago, okay? And I still had that. And I shined it, that's the right word, shown it, I'm not sure, every day to maintain this construct, the good girl, the superwoman. But the superwoman, the cape, had holes. Okay, as someone once said to me, you're trying to be a superwoman, but it's got holes. Oh, is that why I'm not flying as well as I thought I could? Oh, okay. So the realisation that the ball and chain, which I suppose, thought somebody else has given me, it's somebody else's fault, etc. The realisation is that I started to maintain all this. It wasn't about something that somebody told me or somebody, expected of me. They became my expectations. I have a responsibility, being responsible for anything and everything and everyone. No matter what happened or didn't happen, I took responsibility for it. Because I'm a good girl, because I'm a superwoman, because I've got the handcuffs on, because I've got my ball and chain, I'm starting to feel tired. Okay. And then, all of that, and then not looking at me, but then looking out there and going, am I doing a good job? Have I done enough? Is it good enough for you? It's not good enough? I'll do more. I'll try harder. I'll be better. It's not perfect. What else can I do? What do you want me to do? The yes person, not the no person, always the yes person to anything. No matter what, I would drop anything for anybody because I was taught and I was told. No matter what happens, no matter how you feel, you need to make other people feel good. You need to be kind. You need to be the good person. You need to be the person that makes other people feel good, because when they feel good, then you feel good. Okay? So I look out there for permission to be, to value, to have self-worth. Okay? It was all made up. And then what did that lead to? Burnout. Has anyone here experienced burnout? Maybe just reading this list you experience burnout. Because I certainly do. So isn't it lovely? And at some point, after having all this in my life, Because, right, it should have been perfect. I was doing everything right. I was checking in. But still, it didn't feel right. Things were missing. I started to I wasn't happy, but not only I wasn't happy, but other people weren't happy, and I could tell. I was missing bits. I was exhausted. I was tired, no matter how I did it. Because it was all out there. I was giving and giving and giving. And don't get me wrong, I love giving. I love helping. But I was helping to get. Okay? Because that's what gave me energy, what gave me strength until I was completely and utterly exhausted. And my family alongside of that, because whatever I thought is that I'm doing, or I'm feeling this, or I'm feeling that, don't kid yourselves. People around you know. It comes out when you've had a bad day at work, and then you walk in the door, and rather than, I should say it came out for me, when I was at work having a bad day and come in the door and my kids are there, and rather than seeing my kids, I'd see the mess they made, or I'd see that the dinner still had to be cooked, or I'd have to, my husband wanted, the paperwork done, or, my mother wanted me to go down and make lasagna, for example, and she'd never forgive me, to take it to the grave, because if I didn't. And that's a true story, And in terms of, the social expectations, honey, I'm just going to go to dinner with some friends tonight. Is that okay? I'll have dinner ready, and the kids will be, they'll have done their homework and everything else, but, I'll be back. I'll be back in time. And I was a professional woman, I was in the corporate world. I was at work, I was firing, but still, something was missing. A couple of things were missing, actually. So let me ask you, how much personal power do you have at this moment? Okay? I was allowing others to decide for me because I was scared to fail. Okay? So I might have looked like I was making decisions, but I would be checking in with other people first. And sometimes it was easier to do that. I knew what I wanted, but I'd be asking other people's opinions. What do you think I should do? What should it look like? What should I wear? Should I talk to this person? What about this project? What do you think? Okay? I was leading teams, and within those teams, that was fine. Okay? But it was a construct. Are you speaking your truth? Do you know that when men are bothered, they tell you. They tell you on the spot. But women, when we're bothered, we don't often tell people when we're bothered. When we're in the office, when we're at home, yes, we react. But we hold it, mostly, most of us, we hold it and we stew over it and we think about it, and then we say, I should have said this, I should have said that. But at that moment in time, someone goes, are you okay? And you go, yeah, I'm fine. Okay? Do you seek validation often? So when you've done something, and I'm talking about validation, where you want to hear someone say, you're a good girl, you've done a great job, okay? When hearing, oh, you know what, this is not quite what we spoke about, and then that fear that comes on board, but I tried my best, what can I do? What can I do different? But seeking that validation and that confirmation that you are okay, that you are enough from others. Do you check before taking action? Okay, so in terms of your personal power, how many times you're about to do something, but first you go, I'm just checking with Sandy, I know I'm going to do this anyway, but I'm just going to check in, just in case. Just in case. Okay, oh, yeah, I'll send that report, but maybe I'll talk to Bob first. Because Bob knows. I mean, I know too, but Bob knows. And let me ask you, are you the driver on the bus? Or have you given someone else the keys? are you sitting somewhere in the back? Because I was sitting somewhere in the back, okay? And it wasn't just the car keys, I'd given them the house keys, I'd given all my keys away. Right? And I was a passenger. And this is where I was, okay? This is where I was, like this. Is this all there is? I mean, imagine, good girl, superwoman, got all that going on, going, you know, it's all happening around me, etc. But still, I'm pulling my hair out, feeling totally exhausted, totally burnt out. My husband and I are just at each other. And I even thought there was something wrong with my kids, actually, until one day I had, I mean, my daughter's, 17, my son is 14. They were quite young, and I wasn't quite sure if I was a good enough mother. So I'd go to work and I had their, their pictures, their paintings, all their things, the drawings they do at school, and I'd take them and I'd pin them up and all, and all that. But I'm still, that guilt, where do you go to work? Do you stay home? What do you do? If you're at work, you feel guilty because they're at crash. If you're at home, I feel guilty because I'm not at work and I'm not earning. And then somebody walked into my office one day and saw a picture that Amy had done, and they said, "What a happy child." And I just looked at them and they go, "She must be really happy. Look at that picture." And it was like they said something in a brand new language to me, because all I was focusing on was, are they okay? Are they happy? Are they this? I was missing it. I was missing it completely. And somebody else had to point out to me that, hey, and of course the meaning that because it's a happy picture, therefore my child is happy, therefore I'm doing a good job. So there's all that in there. So all my meanings are coming out here, right? But they just say a picture says 1,000 words, right? Expression of emotion. Even though there were dinosaurs in the picture, that's okay. But still, I question myself every day. And I went from all that, okay, there comes a moment where you're doing, I was doing, where you're being, well I wasn't really being, where that construct actually came down, okay. It was really, really, really hard, but I came to that point and I went, enough. If I'm doing this every day, and I'm going, I have to get, I actually love work. I'm actually really one of those people, and my husband says this, you're one of those people that really likes to go to work. How is that possible? But I was like this, I don't want to go to work, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know where I'm going, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I just want to sleep, I just want the clock to stop, I just. So something had to give. And it did give. And I went from this to this. And it went like this. Yay, they left the gate open. The handcuffs are off, the ball chain is off. Run, look at that woman. And I tell you what, my boss, I remember my boss actually asking me to do something, and this is, when I was at this phase, I suddenly one day went, fuck it! Not doing this anymore, not doing it like this. That's it. It wasn't as simple as that. It was really hard. I can laugh about it now. And it still is a journey, and it still takes a lot of work. So don't kid you, I'm not here to kid you that, go through these slides, go through these steps, and it will be easy. And follow step 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're right, mate. Okay? Because it doesn't work like that. As Jay said, as Kellyanne said, and as you will hear the other ladies speak to you today, is it takes a lot of damn work. And it takes holding up that mirror and looking at yourself and really looking at yourself and then not seeing yourself, and then somebody like Jay or Joseph or someone else going, look in the mirror, and you're going, oh, look in the mirror! Until you really look in the mirror. Right? And liking, love, and starting to like what you see. I remember being in one of these sessions. It was with with TCR, with a coaching room, and I actually said, I actually looked in the mirror today and I smiled at myself. I actually liked the person. Hey, I'm pretty. Do I sound too? But really, when you don't get that when you're younger and you discover it, I said the other day I was 47, but I'm not. I'm 46. Okay? I'm not 47 yet. So when you're 43, and you go, hey, I'm okay. Curly hair and all, by the way. It takes a whole damn effort, a lot of effort. And this is why owning your power is really important. Because I am 46. But somebody else is 45 and 44 and 30 and 25 and 2 and 1, not even been born yet. And I have, a husband and I have a son who also need to know, who also understand more now than they ever have about owning, not only me owning my power, but their power. Because I stood up and I said, I'm not faking it anymore. And I don't mean about the other thing. I'm not I'm being me here. I'm dropping, all that construct. My mum, the good girl, when she says it now, she used to say this, go like this. Now she says, and I go, whatever. I don't even hear it. It doesn't bother me anymore. It used to bother me, Yes, good girl. Oh, my God. Now I speak to her and I just see her, I just see mum, I just see a person, And it takes a lot of damn hard work. I left my job in higher ed after 18 years. So I did a lot of damn work, right? I went a year without a salary. Do you know what that means? When the dollar sign is how you define yourself, when the title on the door is how you define yourself, when you cook the perfect, and some days my husband now walks in and looks at the house and goes, the house needs some attention. Or that someone knocks on the door and he's the one scrambling around going, pick up the stuff, pick up the stuff. And I go, who gives a shit? Who live here? Get over it. But I used to be, not even a newspaper, I used to make him get out of bed, even on the weekend, so I can make the bed. I'm telling you. Did you want to live with me then? No. But it's challenging and it's difficult, and how did challenges, And there was a cost, and I came to the point where for me to be me, I put everything on the line. That included my marriage, that included my relationships. My husband, I started doing training with a coaching, and it's not all their responsibility. I always, say it's their fault. Because I did start the journey, I did start the path beforehand. But what happened is when I started doing my training, it gave it structure. It gave me words, which when I move to the next slide you will see, of what I was doing, okay? And people started turning around and going, who are you? Because it wasn't that I stopped being nice or stopped being kind, because that's my nature, I can't help it. But, I was nice and confronting at the same time, and I've never been confronting. My sister would go, blah, 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 and, oh God, this has been taped, okay. She would tell me about, a problem, she'd had with someone, and I'd start saying to her, but maybe this, but maybe that. She'd go, are you my sister? Who are you? I stopped responding the way people wanted me to respond, and I started responding in the way that I felt, in the way that I knew, and just by being me, without thinking, what does she want me to say now, and I'll say that because that's what we normally say, and that's what we do, blah, 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 and have this whole conversation within minuscules of seconds, if that's a word, and respond exactly how she wanted me to respond, because I started saying the truth, and the truth hurts. It hurt me, it hurt those around me, but you have to I had to take responsibility. To be here today, to be able to share this with you, okay, I took responsibility. And how? I'm not going to tell you how, I'm not telling you how, I'm telling you my story, how it evolved, how it happened, what happened for me, okay? And, through the training, owning your power is Empower yourself. It's self-leadership. We talk about leadership and leadership in the boardroom, in the office, at work or at home, but it starts from inside. It doesn't start from the outside. So when you lead on the inside, you start to lead on the outside. And you do that by owning your thinking, your feeling, your emoting, your behaving, your speaking, your language. We create our reality. We all create our reality. We create it with our thoughts, we create it with our words, we create it with our actions and our behaviour and our emotions. And when we say, so-and-so said this and he made me feel, that's a lie, a big fat damn lie, because that person didn't make you feel anything. The way you interpreted it, the way your map works, the way you are, the way you normally behave, you create that. So that's where you take responsibility for you. That's where I took responsibility for me, because I kept on looking at the outside. Yes, I had a harsh upbringing, but you know what? I understand. They did the best they knew how to with what they had. If I even stopped to think about their upbringing, God, I was one of the lucky ones. Okay? So I started to take responsibility for myself. So that's where owning your power is all about. And I'm conscious of the time. So, why? Everyone here today who will talk will tell you about the why of owning your power. These are my whys. As I've shared already, you're powerful beyond belief. And the next step is paying it forward. That picture in there, my sisters, my nieces and my daughter are in that picture. The boys are missing. But they're present, and every possible opportunity they are there, and they're never out of our minds. But we need to be strong for each other, because it is harder. And this is what I talk about with women every day. This is my moving forward. This is my paying it forward, because it's hard. It is damn hard. But you make it easy. You can make it easy. The global gender gap, I won't get into that. But you know, there is a global gender gap. You know, women are paid less. That is the truth. We are paid less for the equivalent job. Senior positions, Joe already mentioned this morning, the 500 top companies, whatever, you know, 7% of women are in those senior positions. We are all powerful, we are all leaders. You don't necessarily, or I don't necessarily want to be in that boardroom, but the fact that we are represented, because they are representing us, is 7%. That is something to really think about, okay? Your voice. We all have a voice. We know we have a voice. The difference is not only having it, but using it. Actually using it. So that's what I'm doing here today. I'm using my voice to empower you to use your voice, so the next person that you talk to uses their voice, and so on and so on. What does this give you? It gives you choices, it gives you opportunities, because when you choose, other people start to choose. And when you choose what you're going to think, what you're going to say, how you're going to behave, how you're going to feel, opportunities and freedom. And it sounds like there's a lot of work, and there is, but with that comes space. Space to respond, not react. Okay, and I'm talking really fast and being active up here, but let me tell you, there is space. So, action forward, people. By the way, now that I remember, God, that, you know, being on the couch, my father used to say, I'm raising little soldiers, right? Or 3 little girls. He raised soldiers. So, do I look like a soldier? So, only thinking, your feeling, your doing, your being, your behaving will give you your freedom. Joe already mentioned freedom today. That's how you get free. Okay. And this is another one of my favourite. And there's the love in the hearts of all of you here today. And the day came when the risk to remain tied in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. So that's what I'm telling you. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And I know that's probably on some ad, but it is. And sometimes it's a matter of, and as my coach has said to me, it's a matter of where I think I'm on the diving board up here, and it looks so far down there. I'm actually just here, and I just need to do this. Okay? Thank you.